When I got married, I thought I knew my husband pretty well, and I thought I had a pretty good understanding of men in general. Obviously, I knew rule number one, the quickest way to a man's heart is through his stomach. So what else did I need to know? Well, once I won his heart, it didn't take too long to realize that I needed to know a lot more if we were going to have a strong relationship. I realized that although we are all created in God's image, God created men and women very differently. We have different desires and different needs. In the last year, I've read a lot of books about the differences between men and women. In the next few minutes, I'll share 3 specific illustrations of how God created men and women differently. First, men want to have control while women want closeness. Second, men like the big picture while women like the details. And third, men need to be respected while women need to feel loved. Dr. Clark wrote a book called Men Are Clams and Women Are Crowbars. In this book, he explains that men want control while women want closeness. Men are born to want control and also taught to desire it. For example, have you noticed that when little boys play, they want to know who won, they want to know who's the fastest, who's the strongest? They're told that men don't cry, and they're taught to value respect, status, strength, and power. Dr. Clark describes men as clams. They're not quick to open up and for fear of losing the control that they desire. On the other hand, women want closeness. Dr. Clark explains that women are taught to value understanding, cooperation, openness, and intimacy. Women like to work together, and they think about how others feel. When little girls play, they play with Barbies, they play house. They don't necessarily care who won, they just want to make sure everyone feels happy and everyone's included. Dr. Clark calls women crowbars because they try to get their husbands, the clams, to open up so they can feel close to them. Second, men like the big picture, while women like the details. In the same book, Dr. Clark explains that when men talk, they just like the big picture. What's the bottom line is something that you'll often hear men say. In fact, men just don't talk as much as women. Women, however, like to talk a lot. They love the details and they have amazing memories, and they can take 10 minutes to describe something that only actually took 5 minutes when it happened. Dr. Clark explains that a story told by a woman can be like a pizza. He says, for me as a man, listening to this kind of story is like ordering a pizza and having it delivered one slice of pepperoni at a time. Please give me the whole pizza, give it to me now. Get to the point before I die of old age. Lastly, men need to feel respected while women need to feel loved. Dr. Eggerichs wrote a book called Love and Respect. In his book, he explains that Ephesians 5:33 calls men to love their wives and wives to respect their husbands. It says that because these are our primary needs. Just as a man desires to be in control, they also desire to be respected. In a national study of 400 men, they were asked if they'd rather be left alone and unloved in the world or feel inadequate and disrespected. 74% said that they would prefer to be alone and unloved. At the same time, women desire to feel loved. Dr. Eggerichs uses the acronym COUPLE, C-O-U-P-L-E, to remind men how to love their wives. This acronym stands for closeness, openness, understanding, peacemaking, loyalty, and esteem. When a woman feels all these things, she's also going to feel loved. As you can see, there are many differences between men and women. For God created all of us with different needs and desires. He created men to desire control, to want the big picture, and to need to feel respected. He created women to desire closeness, to love the details, and to need to feel loved. God created men and women so wonderfully different, and although these differences can sometimes be a source of frustration, they can also be used for His glory.